Caloroga Shark Media.
Tony Hinchcliffe is off the hook. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. It is 7:36 a.m. on Wednesday as I speak to you right now. Things went late into the night. There aren't all that many comedian reactions yet, especially the West Coasters are probably asleep. Some things I did gather. James Adomian on Threads. Don't worry, all the Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney voters are going to come in any minute now. Jono Zalai said, what if I told you there was an even bigger pile of garbage? Liam McEnany offered condolences to Jim Gaffigan on losing the gig. Andy Kindler posted several threads and tweets. One of them, congratulations, America. You are officially the most willfully stupidest country on earth. I'm not counting the people who have given up. It's not your fault evil is winning. Theo Vaughn wrote, congratulations, Donald Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and J.D. Vance and your team. And thank you, Dana White, for helping podcasts contribute to the political landscape. Never would have happened without you. We invited all the candidates, but only 3 showed up. Yeah, I'm wondering if Kamala's decision to go on SNL, where you're preaching to the converted, and not go to Rogan, we might go back and look at that and wonder, the Rogan effect may have been there. I think there's a lot more to it with this election, but not doing Rogan, I'm not sure was the smartest move. Somewhere during the 11 p.m. hour, I remember that The Daily Show was live, and I was like, oh, I'll check that out, and I switched over, and they were in commercial, and I get it, I get the business, believe me, I like running commercials, but I was like, oh, you had this opportunity here and you're in commercial, and I went back and I didn't bother checking it out again. The folks over at Late Nighter did. They recapped it and said at first, Stewart only alluded to the crushing results rolling into a studio audience that had been deprived of the emerging truth. Their take is that it looked as though Stewart and the staff had prepared for the predicted uncertain outcome in the 11 p.m. hour, but yeah, by 11:30 it was kind of obvious what was going to happen. Late Nighter said they had serviceable bits, one with Jordan Klepper wasting no time escaping Pennsylvania, where he had been fake located, another with Michael Costa imitating John King and Steve Kornacki at their magic walls, except they were reporting on projected efforts by Rudy Giuliani to attempt to steal another election, a bit that was increasingly unnecessary as the show rolled on. Ronnie Chang had an unsuccessful bit, says Late Nighter, because it was about undeclared voters, and yeah, by 11:30, we kind of knew what was happening. The weird thing of the night, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania was booked on the show. Stewart teased him as a guest and said he'd be up next, and during the commercial break, apparently, Fetterman bailed. Stewart had a vamped, and Late Nighter said he surely regretted they had expanded the show to an hour. Stewart wrapped it up by saying, this isn't the end. I promise you, this is not the end. We have to regroup, and we have to continue the fight and continue to work day in and day out to create a better society for our children, for this world, for this country that we know is possible. It's possible. A couple quirky stories I saw in the news from the New York Post. New York City dog mayor election gets chaotic as crypto bros allegedly pay for votes. That's right. It was the competition for honorary New York City dog mayor. Enzo the Shih Tzu was taken out of the race by owner Olivia, who told the New York Post that the race had become too negative, with crypto fans allegedly looking to buy votes. Apparently, the crypto bros were supporting Bertrand the Pomeranian to market their Bert coin. Olivia said they've taken the fun out of it. And how about this one from the New York Post? Kamala, an elephant at the National Zoo in D.C., was euthanized on Saturday. After struggling with osteoarthritis for years, the timing there caught the bemusement of some on the internet. One social media user wrote, Trump is real mad at a genie right now. Another pointed out, a bad omen, but for whom? The elephant is named Kamala, sure, but the elephant is the symbol of the Republicans. One person joked to even things out, I've euthanized a donkey named Donald. Another said, Trump's kicking himself right now because he messed up his last wish on his monkey paw. Others claimed it was justice for Peanut the squirrel. There were some late endorsements. Joe Rogan released an episode with Elon Musk Monday, pretty late in the day. Now, my dog kept me up all night, so I actually listened to it on the overnight. Somehow got 3 hours of podcasting, and that's how well I slept. Rogan announced an endorsement for Donald Trump. Rogan explained his endorsement. He said that his guest, Elon Musk, makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. Trump said at a rally that Rogan's backing was great and so nice. Will Ferrell endorsed Kamala Harris, and some people got annoyed at Will because he said, this election is going to be one of the closest in history. Your vote will make the difference. Okay, fine, that's fair enough. Then he tagged it with, that means you, Gary. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm just one person. Shut the F up, Gary. Last time only a few thousand votes kept Trump out of office, and this time we will hold you personally responsible, Gary. One social media user wrote, Democrats have now resorted to physically threatening people to vote for Kamala. Another said, Will Ferrell's making it real tough for me to watch Elf this season. Stormy Daniels is out there on her stand-up tour. Her opener is the hilariously named Greg Studley. Yes, I'm 7 years old. Greg Studley spoke of Stormy Daniels' comedy style and said, it's not traditional stand-up. No kidding. It's like funny storytelling, and she's got a message with a little dash of politicism. She makes a great connection. She's got that something. She's really smart. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. The owner said it took maybe a week to get it set up. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning. Greg Studley and I were talking, and the next day he's like, she's interested. We started working out contract details and dates. The reaction of the booking? A positive. The owner says, everyone's surprised. I can't believe you got Stormy Daniels. Things like this help establish us, and we'll get her name out there. That is true. I'm talking about it. Dudley says she knows how to perform and get on stage. There's a lot of things that go into a live performance. How you look and carry yourself. She knows how to perform. Meanwhile, Harvey Epstein, I don't know how his election went. That's the guy John Mulaney parodied on Saturday Night Live. There's a real guy actually named Harvey Epstein. When Harvey woke up on Sunday, he said he had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of text messages telling him to watch SNL. He told the New York Times. So I watched it and I'm like, hey, that's me. It was like ridiculously funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Brooke Shields also weighed in on Saturday Night Live in one of the bumpers. John Mulaney recreated Brooke Shields' iconic Calvin Klein jeans ad. In case you missed it, John Mulaney wore a red button-down shirt, dark denim jeans, and black boots, and he kicked one foot into the air as he rested his palms on the floor behind him. Brooke Shields posted Mulaney and herself side by side on Instagram and said, I see no difference. Nate Bergatzi is flooring it. Floor it while you're hot. Now he's going to be in a movie. TriStar Pictures has preemptively acquired comedy pitch The Breadwinner. All right, time out. I don't even know where I was. I could go back and listen. I'm going to pitch to you guys a Vince Vaughn movie. Here's how the movie goes. A guy is trying to record his podcast in his basement. His wife goes out for the day, but doesn't tell him that she scheduled the exterminator. So fine, he deals with the exterminator and goes back to recording his podcast. But she doesn't tell him that she's also scheduled the guy that comes with a leaf blower to blow the lint out of the dryer exhaust port. And he's trying to record his podcast. Where were we? What was I even talking about? Nate Bergatzi. That's right. All right. Nate Bergatzi is going to star in a movie. TriStar Pictures has preemptively acquired comedy pitch The Breadwinner. The Breadwinner is in early development. Nate and a partner will write the script. Nate will star in the movie. The plot is being kept under wraps. Nate also has that Lorne Michaels holiday special coming out December 24th. He will also have a book next May. I asked the publicist if I could have him on. The publicist thought I was insane. Speaking of movies, Chloe Fineman, Patton Oswalt, and John McEnroe have joined the cast of The Dink, a pickleball comedy. They join Chris Parnell, Jake Johnson, Mary Steenburgen, Ed Harris, Ben Stiller, and tennis great Andy Roddick. Adam Carolla told The Wrap he remembers the exact moment he wanted to give stand-up comedy a shot, and he has Jay Leno to thank for it. What's the story here, John? Well, you see, Adam Carolla was working construction back in the 80s. It was at a house across the street from where Jay Leno lived. Carolla told The Wrap Jay would come out at noon, get the newspaper, walk back in the house dressed like Rodney Dangerfield in his famous bathrobe, and I'm across the street sweating my butt off, spreading stucco. And I'm just looking at this guy's schedule, and I'm going, I've been here since 7 in the morning. I'm covered in stucco. We haven't even broke for lunch yet, and he's just getting his newspaper and goes back in the house. I'm looking at this guy's schedule, and I'm like, that's a schedule for me. Sam J had a hot take for Roy Wood Jr. about Halloween. The topic was that 1/3 of Americans think blackface is okay if it's part of a Halloween costume. Sam J told Roy Wood Jr., I think you gotta let kids do it. No kid wants to not fully Halloween. You don't want to be a Ninja Turtle up to here and it's just your head sticking out and you're like, it's me, Antoine, but I'm really Michelangelo. Sam said she recently encountered blackface as a costume on Halloween. Said, listen, I have my friend, this kid, he wanted to be Kevin Garnett for Halloween, right? So he put on the Kevin Garnett jersey. Then he went to his mother's makeup and he was going to darken his face. And his parents were like, no, you can't do that. That's offensive to black people. It was part of me that felt bad for him because now he's just a white boy and a Kevin Garnett. And it could have been that on any day of the week. From the Daily Mail, a comedian suing Steve Coogan's production company has told the High Court, obviously, Steve copied elements of a sitcom. Joshua Rinkoff, also known as Harry Deansway, is claiming that Baby Cow Production copied parts of the sitcom Shambles. Rinkoff created, wrote, and directed 2 series of Shambles and said producers working on Live at the Moth Club would have seen some or all of his show and obviously copied both the format and the distinctive elements of the sitcom. Live at the Moth Club is set at a rundown comedy club. It includes real-life comedians performing stand-up and sketches. Rinkoff claims that some of the characters in that show are identical to those from his 2013 web series called Shambles, and that even the jokes are similar. A representative of Baby Cow Productions said they were unaware of Shambles and argued that LATMC is a mockumentary, not a sitcom, and one of its key features is that it presents substantial passages of actual stand-up, which Shambles does not. And are you in Cleveland? Well, then hit up the Cleveland Comedy Festival. I don't know why the Cleveland Comedy Festival picked today. I think people might be distracted today. Well, at least you'll have something to talk about, won't you? The festival will be centered at Forest City Brewery at 2135 Columbus Road in Cleveland. You know the place. I will not be at the Cleveland Comedy Festival because it's trivia night. I will be at the brewery playing trivia. Had a disaster last week. Finished like third last. Got a rebound. See you later, trivia guys, and everybody else. See you tomorrow.